Trick or treat. Well, more like track or trace here at the moment. Normally get about 16 people watching these videos, but midweek I posted a product video of the new Gemini ROV and it got 1,600 viewers. And the excitement of seeing more readers is an addiction. So I looked elsewhere on YouTube to see what other people were doing. Seriously, there was somebody frying an egg on YouTube and he got 2 million hits. So today I'm going to talk to you about subsea engineering of the last month while frying an egg.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There's been a lot of installation stories in the news this month. Remember last time I was banging on about the SSCV Sleipner on Taut Mount? Well, Herma's been at it again, installing 2 jackets on the Hornsea 2 wind farm for Ørsted. And this is a really cool photo. And this next one, I mean, look at the cranes and hang on a sec, what's that below? A line to fish for seafood to go with the eggs I'm frying. Well, those that work regularly offshore will instantly know. So if they could go and get the eggs out of the fridge, I'll explain it to everybody else. It's a taut wire system. Think of it as a constant tension, heave compensated winch that's used to lower a 500 kilogram clump weight to the seabed. The wire between the winch and the weight is always kept taut, and the angle of the wire, as it emerges from the gimbal head, is measured in all axes, and measuring the angle and the length, it's always possible to know the distance between the boat and the subsea weight, and this means that as the boat rises up and down, its position can be calculated with accuracy, and this reference information is fed into the ship's DP system. Sleipner went from there to install one of the world's smallest platforms, Dana's P11 Unity platform. It transported the tripod to Block P11B, around 67 kilometres off the coast of... You know, they do this on purpose because they know it's difficult to pronounce. 67 kilometres from...
Scheveningen.
Yeah. 77 kilometres from The Hague. Is it OOS or OOS? International Semi-Submersible Crane Vessel OOS Serosk.
Siroskerken.
Yeah, anyway, the
Siroskerken
has begun sea trials in the Yangtze River. The vessel's equipped with 6 single 3,800 kilowatt propellers and a DP3 closed loop dynamic positioning system. Have you noticed the twin cranes are on one side of the vessel rather than at the end? Must work. Don't ask me though. I'm not a naval architect. I'm a chef. So you put a glug of oil in the pan. Well, glug's probably too much. Less than a glug. 200 milliglugs of oil. Righted Energy has carried out an analysis of oil production costs and calculated that the average break-even price of all unsanctioned projects has dropped to about $50 a barrel, down 10% over the past year and 35% since 2014. This means that oil is much cheaper to produce than it was 6 years ago. So we've got a pan on the stove and we're cooking with gas, if you have it. Aker BP does, lots of it. The company's ready to start production from phase 1 of its field development in the Norwegian Sea. Anyone. This is just like all over again.
Food.
Well, I wasn't expecting that. In English,
Food.
it's the common eider duck. Interestingly, the females don't eat while they incubate their eggs. They leave to take a drink every 2 to 5 days, but they don't leave the nest for the whole incubation period of about 25 to 26 days. And if female eiders get flushed off their nest, they'll defecate all over their eggs as they fly off. And that's why I don't use them in my award-winning fried eggs. Anyway, the
Food.
wells will be tied in to the existing FPSO on Skarv. Neptune Energy has completed its pipeline operations on Seagull. A 4.7 kilometre production line has been laid by Technip FMC's Apache 2 which connects the egret manifold to the seagull development. Seagull eggs are much larger than chicken eggs. The yolks are sort of orange, almost red colour. Equinor has awarded Technip FMC the EPCI contract for pipelay of the Subsea installation on Breidablik. Apparently the second part of it, the blicky, means it's another name for a duck, sort of male duck, so no eggs there. One of the largest undeveloped oil discoveries in the Norwegian continental shelf, 23 oil production wells will be produced from 4 subsea templates tied back to Grana. The field will include a cable system for DC energy and communications, and the development will also incorporate the use of docking stations for subsea resident drones. Well, while we're waiting for it to cook here, we'll talk about technology. Ixblue recently unveiled its new GAPS M5 omnidirectional USBL acoustic positioning system. The original GAPS is now called GAPS M7, and it embeds a motion sensor within its housing and Octan's Nano AHRS for stable heading, roll, pitch compensation and true north reference. It's suitable for vertical and horizontal tracking of subsea assets for ultra-shallow to medium water depths. Teledyne Instruments has launched a new Wavefinder Doppler velocity log, and this weighs about half a kilo and it's designed for smaller vehicles. EdgeTech has recently introduced a new sonar frequency combination suited for shallow water, unmanned service vehicles and unmanned underwater unmanned UUVs. The 850 kHz and 1600 kHz dual frequency combination provides high resolution side scan sonar imagery at both frequencies and an optional bathymetry at 850 kHz. Vailport has launched 2 sensors for the ROV, AUV and subsea survey market. They feature field swappable sensor heads for greater accuracy. The Smart Mini IPS2 underwater pressure sensor has an accuracy of 0.01% for pilots requiring high accurate depth information in real time. Meanwhile, the compact US SVX delivers salinity, conductivity, density data along with SVP as standard. Many people like prawns or shrimps with their eggs. Do you know that aquaculture accounts for over half of all shrimp production? But how many shrimp in a pond? Step forward JW Fisher's Scan 650 sector scanning sonar that provides detailed image of underwater environment regardless of water clarity. Dr. Susan Sharestani is investigating ways of quantifying shrimp in these facilities using the high resolution data output to provide farmers meaningful information on their biomass and behaviour to help maximise efforts and increase production. So, the eggs are frying, bit on underwater vehicles. ATSM's used its Saab CI Panther XT vehicle to inspect 261 pipelines totalling 2,340 kilometres in 4 Gulf of Mexico fields in depths ranging from 15 to 130 metres in only 10 months. Sea Innovations completed the installation of several stem clamps for BP underneath the Mad Dog Spa in the Gulf of Mexico. Video Arrays announced a multi-million order for the Defender ROV systems placed by the US Navy. Do you remember Copenhagen Subsea developed a novel rimless thruster for use on third-party electric ROVs? Well, they found that because of the wide range of ROV designs on the market and power demands and physical sizes, are not always the same, and that sort of prompted the company to manufacture its own ROV called the Gorilla. It's 1.5 metres in length and about 1 metre wide, and it's rated at 600 metres water depth. There are 8 thrusters in total, 4 horizontal, 4 vertical. Conferences. Everything's gone virtual. Some of the conferences I'm going to be looking at this month are Maths Showcase, of course, 10th and 15th of November. UTC, Underwater Technology Conference, 18th of November. All Energy's been postponed, but there's a virtual event on the 3rd to the 5th of November. And speaking of renewables, I might actually have a look in on the Floating Solar Conference 3rd to the 4th of November. Speaking of floating, if you put an egg in water and it sinks, it's fresh. If it tilts upwards or even floats, it's old. As eggs age, the small air pockets inside grow larger as water is replaced by air. And don't forget Oceanology International, 1st to the 3rd of December. Now I could go on, but my eggs are cooked and I can't move the camera down, but you should see them. They're a work of art, they're egg poetry. If you want to know more about subsea engineering, read UT2, the magazine of the Society for Underwater Technology. The SUT is putting out an online magazine next January solely on underwater vehicles, so check it out. It's going to have more pages than a print version would, and the advert's going to be cheaper. It's going to be great. No, I didn't use an egg pun there. Thank you very much.